Hi, my name is Caroline Lee, and I'm actually a real estate agent here at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and I'm on the Freeman Wang team. Just to things about myself. So I kind of go half and half. I live both in Fullerton and Irvine. I tend to go to neighborhoods that have really, really good school districts, and so Fullerton is my first home. I have an investment home from Irvine, so I know these two pockets really, really well. I have a little girl, age 6. I also have a 24-year-old stepson, and then my husband, of course, and we live in the city of Fullerton. Some of my favorite things that I love to do. So in the morning, I can't go without working out. I'm big on working out. I stop everything, drop everything, and I work out. I'm big time into shakes and juicing in the morning. If I don't do that, then I can't function for the rest of the day. Some of the things I like to do after that, of course, I do work out. And I'm a big avid fan of Japanese anime. So I used to go and I used to participate in Comic-Con like 10 years ago, but I love international and foreign films. So in my pastime, when I'm not doing real estate, my family and we watch either Japanese anime together, or we love going and seeing Chinese and Korean movies. Some of the other things that I like to do, of course, I'm a full-time mom, and so between what I do and then raising my daughter, I barely have time for anything else, but my daughter is big on making YouTube videos, and so I spend most of my time with her. One of my favorite passions in life, also in addition to what I do, is I love interior decor, interior design, and I love going to open houses. Besides shopping at the same time, you'll always find me over at Brea Mall or South Coast Plaza. I do love going to opening houses. I like twilight homes, of course, looking at large vacation homes, $1 million homes. But in addition to that, I love interior decor and photography. So some of those are my favorite pastimes in addition to what I do as a realtor. In terms of education, my first year, so out of high school, I actually attended the University of California, San Diego. And my dad actually wanted me to go and be a doctor, of course, like every other Asian person. The thing is, I had a really good GPA throughout high school, and I was supposed to go to med school because I scored really high. I gave up all of my science degree, and I was the black sheep in the family, and while everybody else went into the science or medical industry, I actually ended up going into real estate. Before that, I actually went into entertainment, but I went into real estate because it was I loved everything about real estate. So my second year, I transferred over to USC, so I am a Trojan. Yeah, I know, University of Spoiled Children, but I worked really hard, and from there, I ended up landing a role working with real estate developers. In terms of my professional experience, so I'm going to move in and talk about my professional experience. Out of college, I had a huge passion and I wanted to go into entertainment. And so my first gig, actually, believe it or not, I became a casting assistant with 20th Century Fox. I worked for Pagano Manueller Casting, and one of the biggest television shows that we landed was 24, the series 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. So we ended up casting that for several years. Then after that, I landed some roles, some speaking roles in some movies, and one of the biggest movies that I was in was Rush Hour 2. It was not until about a year later, I kind of sat here and I said, you know what? I don't know why. You can't make much money in casting. So I was dating someone at the time, and he happened to be in real estate, and it just fell on my lap, and I fell in love with it. I actually liked it a lot more than the entertainment industry because there's just so much you can do. Real estate is there's a huge pot, there's so many opportunities, and it's exciting, and it's a big tax break as well. So I switched over what I was studying, and I decided to go into real estate. I went and got my license over 10 years ago, and I believe it was right after the last recession, I ended up working for a real estate developer in Koreatown. So I landed a couple huge projects out in Koreatown, working for developers. I bought my first investment back in 2000, and I believe it was 9, and from there I fell in love. I've been working with builders and developers in downtown LA and Koreatown and Hollywood for the last 10 years, and then of course out in Irvine. And so I've been doing it for a while, but working with developers. It wasn't until last year, my team leader, I bumped into him out in the city of Irvine. He was a top producer, and I followed him and Rudy on Facebook. I followed Rudy for about a year before I decided to join Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, which was a big step for me because I was giving up a lot in the industry. But what was it about Rudy that caught my attention? There was a Bible verse in there. Whoever compels to go a mile with you, you should go 2 miles with him. That was very convincing. But what I liked about Rudy is that a lot of his techniques were outside of the box. And when I heard about his Arbid tour of homes, the fact that the second mile service, going above and beyond a lot of the properties that you can't find online that his brokerage provides, I said, this guy is on the path of something new. He's innovative. He's going to, at the end, when pretty much the machine takes over, I felt like Rudy's brokerage will still hold its ground and he'll be, the last man standing. And I wouldn't have jumped into Rudy's brokerage after knowing what I do in real estate if I didn't believe in his culture and his business plan. So in the next 2 and 3 years, I'm working on my business plan, but what are some of my goals, dreams, aspirations? The one thing that's always fallen on my lap and that I've done well with is I've always loved building teams. I believe that together is better. And so anytime a developer in the past gave me a community or a project, I always finished selling it out within a 1-year time frame. The reason why I came into this brokerage is because I eventually want to grow my own team and take over a certain pocket over here in Southern California, whether it's Fullerton or Irvine. And I want to build a team, but I also want to be able to help other real estate agents serve other families and help them sell real estate and eventually do both residential and commercial together. But I have the biggest passion just growing teams and making sure that other people excel, but also making sure that we have happy clients. And that's my 2 to 3 year goal from now.